Hi guys, welcome back to Warthog Defense. I'm Sad. Here we have a great investigative story about Putin's seized yacht in Italy. While the Russians are freezing during a massive collapse of Russian infrastructure and dying in Ukraine for the second year in a row, their beloved president is enjoying a several $100 million yacht, of course, but with their money.
This is a great investigative piece by Mark Krutov from Radio Free Europe Radio Liberty about huge Putin's yacht which is seized in Italy. We decided to take a close look at the alleged Putin's yacht, Scheherazade, in the port of Carrara, literally close. We hired a boat from the same marina. What happened next included drone wars, fire drills, and dealing with the police. The Scheherazade was impounded by Italy shortly after the full-scale war between Russia and Ukraine broke out, and it has been sitting in Carrara since then. Our small crew arrived in Carrara on January 24th. As we approached our boat, everything on board the yacht was still and quiet. A few minutes after we set sail, we noticed a drone circling around us. Initially, we weren't sure if it was launched from the Scheherazade, but soon I managed to take a photo of the pilot. People were running here and there on the yacht, water sprinklers activated, and several men grabbed fire hoses, pouring water into the sea. As they informed me, hoses are not charged with water even during fire drills, so it was likely a stay-away signal. The yacht is guarded constantly by a security firm La Linke from the nearby town of Spezia. Current yacht crew is again from UK, including the captain, whose mother earlier said her son would never work for then murderer, Putin. Suddenly, another boat approached us, belonging to the Guardia di Finanza, the Italian financial police, who also serve as coast guards. They told us we were clear to continue filming even before checking our documents. They also informed us that the drone was launched by the yacht's crew, who had also contacted them to check on us. They also cleared us to launch our own drone. At exactly the same moment, the yacht's drone pilot launched his one for the second time, probably after draining the first battery. At that moment, our drone suddenly lost control and signal, veering quickly towards the yacht, but we managed to regain control and retrieve it. Maybe just a coincidence. I wish we always had a helipad to launch our drone from. The rear deck of Scheherazade, currently undergoing expansion, is sheltered from the rain. Some damage to the paint is visible. However, overall, the yacht's condition doesn't appear to be bad. The official owner of Scheherazade is the sanctioned Russian tycoon Eduard Hudinatov, who is attempting to prove in a U.S. court that he is not a straw owner of the yacht. Interestingly, Hudinatov claims he is not the straw owner of yet another seized super yacht. The 348-foot Amadea is allegedly owned by Suleiman Kerimov in reality. Kerimov is a multi-billionaire sanctioned by U.S. Treasury in 2014 and 2018 in response to Russia's activities in Syria and Ukraine. It seems Karimov recently gave up on Ahmadiyya by refusing to pay its $7 million year maintenance. Will Putin do the same with the Scheherazade after all? How the Scheherazade is connected with Putin. In 2022, Navalny's team discovered that shortly after delivery, the crew of Scheherazade was changed to a Russian one. It included employees of the Federal Protection Service, which is in charge of guarding high-ranking officials, primarily Vladimir Putin himself. Later on, together with Pustota, we found more evidence linking the Scheherazade to Russian president. There's a compelling reason to closely monitor the Scheherazade. 2 other seized yachts of a sanctioned Russian oligarch disappeared from Italy back in 2022. Not only yachts, but arrested Russians sometimes disappear from Italy as well. The latest EU sanctions package is a small step towards assets like the Scheherazade being sold, with the proceeds going to Ukraine. However, there are already EU countries doing so. Looks like Tucker Carlson has become a Russian national hero. This Russian woman wants a face-to-face meeting. Might an interview with her be more interesting than with Putin?
В Россию прилетел Карлсон. По телевизору все говорят: Карлсон, Карлсон, Карлсон. Когда же он ко мне-то прилетит? Столько лет жду, и вареньем уже запасался, а его все нет и нет. Я же жду, Карлсон, прилетай скорее ко мне. Ку-ку, мой мальчик, где ж ты есть?
Russian propagandist Sladkov is bragging about the huge production of ammo and tanks by Russia. Says 500 tanks were sent to Avdiivka, but he will never speak to his audience about vehicle and human losses in Avdiivka. And if the ammo production is actually this high, why is Russia buying it from NK? We should not brag about ammunition production. There is only one reason. Why should everyone know this? Especially the West, NATO, Ukraine. These are the times. Any information has military value. How many tractors do we produce? A lot. This means we have a high degree of food security and therefore defense capability. We haven't heard for a long time. In Russia, they produced 1,000, say, tanks. 100 were sent to Kharkiv, 500 to Avdiivka, and 400 were stationed in Belarus. And? Why does the enemy need to know this? Therefore, information about the successes of the military-industrial complex is barely coming through. And it is right, we shouldn't brag, but there is something to brag about. When the time comes, we will study everything.
Thank you for watching. I hope you liked this story. Stay with Warthog Defense. Comment, like, subscribe, become our member, and stay strong.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.
Rescues every day. We had a guy last week, it's 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.